guys, thanks for coming and watching my video. This is a video on how to make a frontal wig without glue or a wig cap. Just continue watching to see how I got this look. So here I'm going to pluck the frontal. It was a bit thick, so I decided to pluck, especially in the front, so it can look, you know, a lot nicer. It won't look so bulky and thick up top. So I just parted a small piece up front, and I'm plucking forward first, and then eventually I'll pluck behind it. But I just want to get some of those hairs from the front. And as you can see already, it's starting to look better in that one little section that I did. It don't look like the rest of it. So I'm just gonna keep doing that process, and I'm actually gonna speed this up so it won't be so long for you to watch.
Grinding all my life, that's all my life, all my life, grinding all my life, that's all my life, all my life, grinding all my life, that's all my life, all my life, grinding all my life, that's all my life, all my life, grinding all my life, that's all my life, all my life, grinding all my life, that's all my life. I repeat the hustle, 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 I repeat the hustle. All I do is hustle, had to get it off the muscle. Swear to God, I'm just like Russell. Keep no scripts right out my circle, just like Urkel. Move around, but I don't fuck around. Barely even make a sound.
So here I'm just going to bleach my knots on the frontal. The knots were a bit dark, so I'm going to lighten them up so that they will match my skin complexion a little more. So I used 2 scoops of the powder, and then the powder bleach, and then I used, you know, not a lot of developer, just enough to get it to a thick consistency, because you don't want it to be too loose or it will bleed right through the frontal and gonna bleach your hairs that's in your frontal. So after I got it to, you know, like a thick consistency, I just pretty much kind of not spread it. I didn't really brush it on. I kind of brushed it, but not really. I didn't do it real hard. I did like a real light brush so that it wouldn't go through the holes in the lace. And I made sure I did the front first so it can be, so it can lighten really well.
But they don't care, ain't no what, that this game ain't fair. Just like Ricky, man, it's tricky. And they iffy with they blicky, leave a hickey on your shirt. Man, this world so cursed. Man, they rather see you sharp. Hands down in the hearse, that be the worst, and that hurt. Best friends get you murked. They be looking for the reason. Plotting, scamming, scheming. Send you to the deacon. Guess what be the reason? Cause you out here dreaming.
In here, I just got my dome cap on my mannequin head. I got the mannequin head from Amazon and the dome cap from a local beauty supply store. And here I'm just applying the frontal on the dome cap. What I'm doing is I pull the frontal like a ½ inch over the dome cap, not exactly like on the dome cap, it's a little further over it. And here I'm just applying, well, pinning down the frontal. You want to make sure that the back is straight and flat, no bumps. Make sure it's flat as it can be, and the front can be, you know, is of course going to be a little more, like, I guess you could say bumpy, I guess. I'm not sure exactly what you would call it, but it shouldn't be flat in the front. It should be flat in the back. And now I'm just braiding down the frontal so that the hairs won't get in the way while I'm trying to sew the frontal down. So that's all I'm doing here.
Trying to make a way, even though people they doubting me. Trying to make a way and take these chances, ain't no stopping me. On my soul, on my life. When I grind, on my life. I swear to God, on my life. When I rise, on my life. On my soul, on my life. When I grind, on my life. I swear to God, on my life. Yes, on my life, on my life. Grinding on my life. That's on my life, on my life. Grinding on my life. That's on my life, on my life. Grinding on my life. That's on my life, on my life. Grinding on my life. That's on my life, on my life. Grinding on my life. That's on my life, on my life. Grinding on my life. That's on my life, on my life. Grinding on my life.
Okay, and now I'm getting my needle and thread, and I'm going to start sewing the frontal down. I'm going to start on one end and just go work my way to the other side. So what I do here is I don't go directly through the entire cap because I do not want to mess up the stretch on the band inside the cap. So I just go through that first layer through where the band is. I don't go directly all the way through. I go through the first layer and then come back up and like kind of knot it so that the end will be secure.
That be the worst, and that hurt. Best friends get you murked. They be looking for the reason. Plotting, scamming, scheming. Send you to the deacon. Guess what be the reason? Cause you out here dreaming. Cause you out here eating. Now they somewhere creeping. Now they somewhere creeping. Sleeping on the fact that you did what you could. They ain't back to the hood, but you misunderstood. But they stand for the good, hoping no nigga would. So why they should? Cause it's really no one love in the hood. So now it's sad, that ain't mad. Time to go get the fight and light it up like it's crack, no button to move like a jack. Put your back against the wall. Who you call with?
And the way that I sew the wig, the frontal on, is the same way that I sew my bundles. I pull the string like through, like the loop, I guess you can say, with the opening of the rest of the thread. So I pull the needle through that. Is you can see what I'm doing, like the way I'm doing it. It's hard to explain, but if you can just watch and see how I'm actually sewing it on there, so it'll be flat as possible in the back with no bumps.
All my life, grinding on my life. That's on my life. All my life, grinding on my life. That's on my life. I repeat the hustle. 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 All I do is hustle. Had to get it off the muscle. Swear to God, I'm just like Russell. Keep them squares right out my circle, just like Urkel. Move around, but I don't fuck around. Barely even make a sound. Cause haters, they'll put you down. Your soldiers, they out of sight. When you see the light and get the bitch, you gotta get your own. Right hand up to God. I swear to God that I be on my own. Trying to make a way, even though people they doubting me. Trying to make a way and take these chances, ain't no stopping me. On my soul, on my life. When I grind, on my life. I swear to God, on my life. When I rise, on my life. On my soul, on my life. When I grind, on my life. I swear to God, on my life. Yes, on my life, on my life. Grinding on my life. That's on my life, on my life. Grinding on my life. That's on my life, on my life. Grinding on my life. That's on my life, on my life. Grinding on my life. That's on my life, on my life. Grinding on my life. That's on my life, on my life. Grinding on my life. That's on my life, on my life. Grinding on my life. That's on my life, on my life. Grinding on my life. That's on my life. It's on my life. Yeah, I repeat the hustle. I repeat the hustle. I repeat the hustle. I repeat the hustle. I woke up this morning with a story to tell. A little tale from a city that be wicked as hell. Friendships turn stale, blackmails ain't real, but they don't care. Ain't no what, that this game ain't fair. Just like Ricky, man, it's tricky. And they iffy with they blicky, leave a hickey on your shirt. Man, this world so cursed. Man, they rather see you sharp. Hands down in the hearse, that be the worst, and that hurt. Best friends get you murked. They be looking for the reason.
And here, as you can see, I'm going to, when I get to the middle, I actually like put a knot there. I don't know, I just do that to make sure it's secure. So what I do is I wrap the thread around the needle 3 times and then pull it through. Now that I'm at the other side, so pretty much the end of sewing the frontal, I'm doing the same thing that I did to the other side, and I'm not going directly through the wig cap. I'm going on that first layer so I won't stretch out that, I'm gonna mess up the stretch on the band. So, and as soon as I get to the end, I'm going to do the same thing that I did for the middle of the frontal and tie a knot. So I'm going to wrap the thread around the needle 3 times and then pull it through. Now it's time to sew down the bundles. The first thing I do is I get the longest bundle, which here is a 22 inch, and I'm going to do the same like I did the frontal and not go directly through the band. And I'm going to secure that there, you know, by pretty much tying a knot. So that is that'll stay while I pin down the other side. I'm going to sew across the band, but using the same method, not going directly through, just the first layer. And I'm going to sew it the same way that I sewed the frontal. So I'm going to pretty much go through the cap, come back up and pull the needle through the, like, I guess the loop or the hole of the rest of the thread. Okay, now that I'm at the other end, and as you can see, I don't want to cut the weft, so I have to like pretty much fold the weft, and I did double it. So what I do is I grab the one on the inside and I put the needle through the weft and you know, sew it down to the cap as close to the end as possible, and I wrap the thread around the needle 3 times and pull it through to make a knot to secure it. And I do the exact same thing. I do them one by one. So I'm going to do that one, then I'm going to do the exact same thing to the other weft, as you can see here. Like it's crack, no but no move like a jack. Put your back against the wall, who you call where they at? I swear it's cancer in that hate and leave a deadly react. That's on my life, on my soul, on my life. When I grind, I swear to God, on my life. When I rise, on my life, on my soul, on my life. When I grind, I swear to God, yes, on my life, grinding on my life. That's 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 on my life. I repeat the hustle, 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 I repeat the hustle. All I do is hustle, had to get it off the muscle. Swear to God, I'm just like Russell. Keep them squares right out my circle, just like Urkel. Move around, but I don't fuck around. Barely even make a sound, cause haters, they'll put you down. So after I was done sewing the wig, I did wash the hair. I always wash the hair, but I thought it would be easier to wash it after I made the wig. So, you know, it'll be easier to dry and everything.
on my soul, it's on my life. When I grind, it's on my life. I swear to God, it's on my life. When I write, it's on my life. On my soul, it's on my life. When I grind, it's on my life. I swear to God, it's on my life. Yes, on my life.
So here's the wig. This is the finished product. And with this wig, you do not need a bald cap or anything. What I did do is I sewed a band under, I sewed a band to the frontal, to kind of make sure it's flat up front. But you don't need a cap or you don't need glue at all. And if you want to see a tutorial on that, then on me sewing the band, just let me know in the comments below, and I'll do a full tutorial on the band and everything.
I woke up this morning with a story to tell. A little tale from a city that be wicked as hell.
At first I was using scissors, but then I actually seen someone use a razor comb, and I just like the outcome of how the razor comb cuts the lace off. It just looks, I don't know, more natural, I guess. It's not really a straight cut. It's more of a rigid cut. I mean, I have to go in and, do a lot more cutting and everything. But this is basically what it looks like with the razor comb, and not having to try to make your own little wave with the scissors. Okay, and this is how it came out. I think I need to go in and plug this frontal a lot more. It's just so thick. It's so thick. I can't. But so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna plug the frontal a lot more. But this is pretty much how it is. The lace is still beautiful on it. I mean, it matches my skin a lot.
Had to get it off the muscle. Swear to God, I'm just like Russell. Squares right out my circle, just like Urkel.
Actually made this for my cousins. So it's not like I don't want to be keeping it, but I will be making me one soon. Oh yeah, and y'all like my makeup. Lashes. But if you would like to see me do my do a makeup tutorial, just leave a comment down below, and I will do a makeup tutorial for you guys on how I did this. I honestly just freestyled. I freestyled this. I really did. I freestyled this thing. Like that, I don't know why that's so hot up there. Not
just like Ricky, man, it's tricky. And they iffy with they blicky, leave a hickey on your shirt. Man, this world so cursed. Man, they rather see you sharp. Hands down in the hearse. That be the
I think I'm gonna call this eyeshadow sunset.
Guess what be the reason? Cause you out here dreaming. Cause you out here eating. Now they somewhere creeping.
But thanks you guys for watching my video. I will be back with plenty more. Love ya.
But they stand for the good, hoping no nigga would. So